What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Craig. We're going to be taking a look at the markets. We're going to take a quick look at gold that is just cranking. Then we're going to take a look at the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ just really quick before we get into our Bitcoin chart and talk about, is this a dead cat bounce or are we going to go to new all-time highs again? Very interesting charts, guys. Stick around. Also, I'm going to give you the free $200 promo code giveaway. We're going to do that in this video. I'm going to do it off Thursday's video because something happened to Friday's video where they restricted it. I know I said a cuss word in it, but usually they don't do anything. They did this time, so I'm going to go ahead and give that away, and I'm going to tell you the new rules of how to get entered to win the $200 Prime XBT promo code giveaway. Both sponsors are in the link below, Prime XBT and BITUNIX. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely sign up there for some huge bonuses. I got some huge news for the Prime XBT bonuses too that start today. I will let you guys know probably after this video. I got to get back with them after making this video to get the details, but I will let you know how to get 30% on top of your deposit. You can always get 20% by signing up with my link, up to $7,000 bonus. So without further ado, let's get into the charts. Let's see what's going on. Let's get it. Oh yeah, one more thing that I wanted to talk about. So I mentioned it last week about a trading group, right? So me and another trader are getting together. We're starting a trading group. We're probably going to try it out for free in the Discord. So make sure you sign up to the Discord down below. All you have to do is click the link, get in there. If the link gives you issues, leave me a comment under that saying your link doesn't work. I'll send you a link to get into the Discord. Works for some people, doesn't for others. You have to make sure you're, I think, registered with Discord or proof your ID with Discord or whatever. But anyways, if it doesn't work for you, let me know. I'll send you a link. And we're going to do it for free for a test run, see how people like it. So it's not going to cost you anything in the beginning. We're going to make a private room. So make sure you let me know in the comments if you're interested in that, and let's get into it. So gold is cranking again. It's $4,319 as of right now. So we've taken some measured moves. We've looked at some trend-based fibs. Let's throw trend-based fib on this right here. Look at this as a wave 3. Extended fifth wave is what I think we're in now, and that's looking at the macro, this being wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and this is wave 5, like a blow off top. Now, if I'm wrong, so being wrong here would mean that we're going into hyperinflation. If we go into hyperinflation, I don't think a lot of people get it. I know the people that watch it, most of the people watching this channel get it, understand what hyperinflation means, but it's not good. If that happens, right, it's going to get ugly, guys. We better hope that that doesn't happen. If it does happen, you're going to see the markets continue cranking straight up just like this. But what people don't understand is the poverty levels that this country will reach. It will be insane. It will be third world country stuff. So be careful. If that does happen, man, make sure you're prepared. Make sure you got some gold. Make sure you got things like that, because always remember, let's talk about this real quick. So as of right now, Dow futures are down 174, S&P's down 32, NASDAQ's down 151. Amazon Web Service outage hits major websites, what we know so far. So remember, for crypto, you'll always need the internet. If stuff gets bad and the internet's not working for people, crypto's not going to do them any good. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And let's continue. All right, so looking at this, I've showed this over and over. This was the 2000 bubble. This is the 2008 bubble. Look how, if you were around back then, you know the devastation in these. Look at this bubble. We're in an everything bubble, guys. This was a tech bubble in 2000. This was a housing bubble in 2008. This is an absolutely everything bubble. Again, popping would be healthy. A lot healthier than continuing up. If it continues up, we're in hyperinflation, guys. It's going to cost you $500 for a loaf of bread, right? So just be careful. Here's another one. This is S&P. This is the rally up, or the bubble, tech bubble here. Right here's the 2008 housing bubble, and where we're at currently, the everything bubble. I know there's tons of people saying that if people saying we're in a bubble, we're not in a bubble. But there's tons of people saying if people are saying we're in a bubble, we're not in a bubble. We're in a bubble. We're in a bubble. All right, so NASDAQ. You can see a NASDAQ, right? Here was the .com bubble. Here was the housing bubble. Here's the everything bubble, guys. I'm not saying it has to happen today. I'm not even saying it's topped for sure right now, but I'm saying this thing is going to get ugly. And people have asked how to short Bitcoin. I'm going to show you that when I show you my trades. We did get stopped out on our trades, and I showed you and told you guys where my stops were, everything on X. Make sure you follow me on X and in the Discord. I let everyone know in there when I moved my stops. So let's take a look at that real quick. So on the weekly, right, we're still below the EMAs here. We're still below the 21 EMA. We're actually right on it at 110.6, right? But I've been showing you guys this hidden bearish divergence. I'm sorry. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the MACD, lower highs in the RSI. Pretty big deal here, guys. Something to be aware of and be careful. This red dot kind of told you that we were nearing the top, just like it did over here and over here. And the big ones over here, right? So just be careful. This thing looks ready to turn over, if you ask me. I'm not saying it can't go a little bit higher, but what do? We trade it in the meanwhile, right? So this is the main trend line on the daily that we've been watching for a long time. I said if this breaks, we're probably going into hyperinflation or something like that. Something crazy will be happening, and then this thing could moon all the way up to the 225 to 244 range. If this holds as support. I don't mean just a wick above, right? But this could be huge, huge, huge bull run, like pretty much double where we're at now. So something to keep an eye on. This here, we're just going to kind of zoom in. Let's take a look at where this trend line is. This is just a simple trend line here, and to line up with that 200 EMA is going to be around 113. That's where I would look for some resistance. If it breaks through that and holds support, then we could be looking at possibly if we put this trend line in here, right? I don't like this because it's two bottom touches without a touch on the top. But nevertheless, this could be some sort of wedge, and you'd take a measured move from the top of the wedge to the bottom, and you would get a target somewhere around 130 to 130.5. Now, if we go back here, that would pretty much line up with the top of this trend line. Not saying it's going to go there. We have to break this area to even consider that first. The other thing we could do here is just do a clone and put it down here, and we may just be going right back down for a retest down here if we even touch that top, right? We did break on the RSI here. Most likely it's going to come back down to test this range, but we'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to also enter a short while we're doing this just to show you guys. You know, a lot of people ask how to short Bitcoin. Short anything, especially if you're on Prime XBT. You can even short the traditional markets. Dow Jones, S&P, gold, silver, oil, S&P, everything all from one exchange. That's the great thing about Prime XBT. And you know, you don't have to risk more than you're willing to lose, right? You just what you put in your trading account. That's I don't know. And you use stop losses, guys. It's a whole lot easier than people think. If you get a working strategy, which you can start out with fake money, that's what I always recommend, and then put in little bits as you get profitable. Then maybe try $5 and see what happens. And then if you're working able to grow $5 to $50, maybe you put in another $50, or you know, don't just go in, take your whole savings, throw it in there, and gamble, right? Find a strategy that works for you. So this has been these have been our targets, right? Obviously, this was our first one here. We hit it. We broke back above here now. So if this holds as support, then we can continue up. And here are your levels, right? Your 0.382 is at 112.250. Your 0.5 fib is at 114. So depending on what we're in here, this could be a wave. Let me draw this out for you so you can see. I'm kind of trying to give you guys an idea of all the different ways you can trade and look at trades, right? Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. If that's a finished structure, let me make that white so you guys can see it. Actually, let me make it a little thicker so you guys can see it. There you go. So if that was a 5-wave structure and it's done, then we're looking for an ABC, which would look something like this. Like you get an A, maybe up to that 0.5 fib, and then you get a B back down here, and then a C back up into this range, and then a continuation down. Now that's one possibility to look for. Either way, you'll probably be coming back down to this 107.9 to 108 area again, maybe even lower before going up. Even if it is going that way, I think there's a good possibility we can continue down from here. But again, all that depends on traditional markets too, and whatever the manipulators that are running stuff right now say, right? So anyways, let's take a look at just a clean chart. This is the daily. If you guys remember, I was talking about the daily sell signal. And another thing I want to point out, we still have plenty of room down here for more downside on the RSI. So that's one thing to be aware of. The other reason I think we could continue possibly down from here is because I showed you guys this right here. We had a sell signal. So our 55 EMA is the yellow, our 21 is the blue, 13 is the white, 8 is the red. They all crossed below the 55, right here. And the next candle opened and closed below the red. But remember, I said a lot of times, you got to get a bounce at some point, right? It can't just continue down in one candle unless something crazy happens. But you're going to get a bounce, right? And I don't consider this 3 white soldiers. Some people might, because you got a green candle, longer green candle, longer green candle at the bottom of a trend, right? But problem with that is the bottom of the trend was on this candle, so I don't count that as 3 white soldiers. It has to be at the top of the trend coming down to be the 3 black crows, and to be the 3 white soldiers, it has to get this candle here. Should have been the bottom of the trend, but it was not, so I don't count that. All right, let's pick our winner, and then I'm going to show you my PrimeXBT trade, how much we made, and how long I was in that trade. As you guys know, I like to swing trade. And I may even enter a trade just to show you how to short Bitcoin. I'll short 1 Bitcoin or something when I get over there. All right, let's take a look. And I'll keep you updated on what happens with that and if I close it. So anyways, let's take a look at, let me see. I got to get over here and find Thursday's video. We're gonna do Thursdays. Like I said, I don't know what happened with Fridays. It just didn't work out. Didn't get a lot of views, and people were saying in the comments that it was telling them it was restricted. So let's see. We're gonna go to the Thursday video, which is this one here. And here we go. Put it in there. All right, here it is, and let's pick a random comment. Remember, guys, if it's a scam comment, we'll move on. All right, Andrew Boss 691. I'd 100% be interested in the scalp trading. Well, let me know. Comment to me on this. Shoot me an email. I'll verify it's you. I'll send you a $200 promo code. And if you want to win a $200 promo code, couple things we got to do here. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let's get a conversation going about where you think we're at. So look at people's convos. You know, everybody kind of comment on everyone's comment. If someone thinks you're, you know, has a good reasoning, we might be in a bull market still, let us know. If you think we're going to be in a bear market from here on out, let us know and kind of give us some ideas of why you are. Let's get the conversation going. It'll help the algorithm. It'll help the channel back out. Let's get to where we used to be. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. That's why I do these giveaways. Also, there's going to be another announcement with PrimeXBT. I'm going to be doing another tutorial, a newer one, an updated one. My one's pretty old, but you can check the old one out right now, right here. Let's get into that trade. All right, so here we are, guys. So here was my trades, right? I'll show you in here. So here I have it set up where you can see where I hit all my shorts. We were laddering in this whole time. I was watching this here as our resistance over here. Once we broke, I started laddering in. I kept laddering in, laddered in at the top here. Even when we broke, I stayed in because I said, I think we were just going to get a wick above, which we did. So we were 35 Bitcoin short, right? And let's take a look at the history, and it'll show you the closes, right? So this is where you can see I closed a bunch right here. So I told you guys last Friday I moved my stops to 110.5, and then I moved them down to 108.5, and that's where they got stopped out. I did forget one at 110.5 right here, but you can see. So right here, it's super simple to see what we did. Right here was one 6,700. That was a 1 Bitcoin, right? And then here was one 13,000, 13,000, 9,000, 8,000, 4,000, 8,000, 21,000, 5,000, 7,700, 10,000, 23,000. We did about $168,000 on that trade. So, a lot of people were saying, well, that's not a real account. Well, I'm going to show you. We go over to here. You can see here's the real account, demo account. Demo account I never even used. You get a $10,000 demo account. Real account, as you can see. So just so you guys know, for those of you that want to be smart Alex and think you know something that you don't. All right, let's see. Let's take a quick look at the alts real quick. So Ethereum, look at that. We're right back in the limbo zone. Remember, in between the white and blue lines, limbo zone. You got to get above to be bullish and hold, below in resistance, and then we continue down. I think the next time we break one of these lines, we're going to know our direction. Are we going to see that huge rally up to 72 to 8,200 if we can hold above the blue line, or are we going to see the big dump to about 1,500? We'll be keeping an eye on that. Let's see. XRP still at the bottom of this wedge. If this holds as resistance at 267, I'm still looking to come back down here again. Remember, we thought we would come back and test this, which we did. It was kind of a crazy wick. I think we'll come back down for another retest of that. BNB, we had this measured move. I love my measured moves. Right here to the breakout, and look at that. It nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Perfect. ADA. So I'm still looking for us to get down to this level. Looks like we may get another bounce up to about that 76 cents before we continue down, but we'll be keeping an eye on that. And Litecoin is just still lollygagging right around that 9,500. We hit our support level one more time. Remember, if that breaks, I'm looking for 55. If that breaks, it's a wrap. All right, guys. And good old MicroStrat, man. Con. All I gotta say is con. All right, guys, I am out. Make sure you guys check out the sponsors down below, BITUNIX and Prime. I'll leave 2 tutorials up here on how to use them, and we'll catch you in the next one.